What's up, y'all? I'm live. Do I want to filter today? Okay, y'all, I'm back. So today's live is going to be another poetry divination. And I'm bringing back a classic. If you've been coming to my lives since 2024, then you've seen this book before. I started doing poetry divinations with this book. It's called When My Notebook Speaks, Poetic Expressions by James Lewis. And I really just enjoy this poetry book so much. Like, I still do like my own poetry divinations, like on my own, and just see like what message spirit has for me. And I actually have one that I want to share before I begin like a new divination. I think this was yesterday or maybe the day before yesterday. I did a divination and I came to a poem that I had never read yet. So I'm going to share it. So this poem is called They Think I'm Amazing. And I decided I wanted to share this because I feel like not only is the message really good, but like the title alone just reminds me of my own experience and how like throughout all of my life, I can tell that people think I'm amazing, but at the same time, like, don't necessarily support me in the way that you would think somebody would if they thought you were amazing. Like, it's like people think I'm amazing, but they support me from afar. Like, they're inspired by me from afar. And there are times when people, like, give me my flowers or tell me that they inspire me. But it's usually, like, they'll be like, oh, when I first met you, you did this and that expanded my mind, or that inspired me in this way. And it'll be, like, years later. So if you think I'm amazing, continue watching and listen to this poem because it'll give you insight into like how people are amazing. Like there's a story behind the amazingness that you see. So here it goes. They think I'm amazing because of what they see and what they hear. Lend your ear and I'll share how I got here. It was from being the cause of broken relationships that I learned to value people. It was from making decisions in haste that I learned to listen to the wise and experienced. It was from being paralyzed by fear and seeing its effect upon others that I learned to live fearlessly. It was from lying that I learned the beauty of truth. It was from aging that I understand the strength of youth. It was missed opportunities that taught me to seize the opportunity. It was from dropping out of college that I learned to cherish knowledge. It was from letting others down that I learned to seek to lift others up. It was from making a mess that I learned to clean up. It was from falling that I learned to get back up. I've witnessed domestic violence and kept silent because I didn't know how to articulate this act of hate. It was from seeking to be one with the crowd that I learned to be one of a kind. It was from being depressed and alone without a home that I could call my own. It was from walking in darkness that I learned to embrace light. Funerals and hospitals remind me to embrace life. It was from learning that I was almost aborted that convinced me that I have a purpose. It was from being robbed 2 times that I learned that man's mind is out of line. It's from self-awareness that I see that my own mind needs to be purified. You know who is amazing? The one who forgives all wrongs and loves all humanity despite our language, race, job title, and birthplace. I am because Christ is. So that's the end of the poem. And I'll say that when I first read this, I definitely teared up by the end, because the last line, I am because Christ is, for one, it has an exclamation mark. It's not just like a statement with the period. It has an exclamation mark. So I feel like that shows the passion and enthusiasm that the author has behind that statement. And to wrap up the poem with such a statement, I just feel like it's so powerful. So I do want to talk about like a theme that I noticed with this poem. I noticed duality and polarity being a theme. Like, well, not necessarily that, but what duality and polarity teaches us. It teaches us to embrace contrast and learn from it. Like, almost every line is showing you, I don't want to say opposites, but like two different sides of a coin. Let's say that. So for example, he says, it was missed opportunities that taught me to seize the opportunity. So sometimes we don't have that natural inspiration to like be assertive or jump on something, because we have yet to experience the other side of that, when you feel like you missed out. And so it's like, missing out is not a bad thing if you learn a lesson from it. And I feel like that is a classic takeaway from like any experience you have. So if you have experiences with like domestic violence, if you really embrace the experience and learn from it, then it'll teach you what true love is in a relationship, because you have experienced the opposite. And it was a couple things that he mentioned that I was like, whoa, that like really resonates with my life experience. So for example, he says, it was from dropping out of college that I learned to cherish knowledge. So I didn't drop out of college, but my first university was the University of San Diego. And I didn't graduate from that university. I actually graduated from Florida International University. So it was my second college. And when I was planning to go to college, I didn't anticipate leaving my first university. So it's like experiencing like a plan not going how I wanted it to go had me really be more open to embracing the college experience that I did have, because I was so grateful to just be in college. Like, I was so grateful to be having the experience, not just like learning the academic stuff, but the experience of a college environment, and also living on my own. Like, for a lot of people, they experience living on their own for the first time because of their college experience. And that was something that I really am grateful for. That's something that I'm really grateful for to have experienced, because although when I first left my university in San Diego, I was like low-key not wanting to tell anybody. Like, I felt like a dropout. I felt like a failure. I felt like I wanted to hide and not tell anybody, which is so funny now looking back on it. But like, when you're in the experience, whatever emotions are coming up is what's coming up.